Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central with me, Nayantara, working from home. This is the only show of its kind on Indian television dedicated to startups, innovation, technology, disruption, entrepreneurship. Now, what you've seen in recent times, especially since the lockdown, is the emergence of health tech and e-pharmacies. Going into the lockdown, India didn't even have clear-cut guidelines for e-pharmacy. Today, it's a booming business, so much so you've seen Amazon enter it. Reliance Jio has taken a controlling stake in Netmeds. Flipkart is talking about entering the space. You're going to have India's first unicorn in health tech. It's an e-pharmacy after the merger of MedLife and Pharmeasy. Where does that leave 1mg? It's exactly what I asked the co-founder and CEO Prashant Tandon. That and a lot more on the prescription for 1mg's growth coming up. Here's an edited excerpt.
All kinds of options. I think we've always looked at partnerships. We've always looked at fundraise has never been a problem for us in that sense. We've got the best quality investors backing us. So see, the post-COVID, the business metrics and economics are very, very strong. We are very close to profitability and we have a lot of capital. So there's a very clear runway for the next 3 to 4 years. And most importantly, consumer demand. Our share of the category has actually gone up in terms of traffic that comes to 1mg. It's gone up very, very significantly over the last few months. So where we find, of course, did we expect this sector to not have strong competition? Certainly that was never the expectation. We knew that there would be strong competition, but I think now we are in a stable zone. At least all the players that are in the game are here to stay. And the fight will be for the consumer's trust, and that's a battle we think we can take on. And I'm not for a minute undermining the capacity of Reliance Jio or Amazon or Pharmeasy, MedLife to take their share of the market, but I think there's a very large market opportunity that we are addressing. We have our own business model, fairly differentiated. So far, last 5 years have stood the test of a lot of competition already. So we are up for the battle, and I don't think we are that it is a surprise, because it's such a large ecosystem. What all of us together represent is less than like 2-3% of the market. So I think it's more about growing the market and everybody, all the players who are now the survivors, so to speak, to continue to dominate, or rather than us trying to fight for share with each other, which I don't think is going to be the way it goes. So enough opportunity for all.
And why not? You recently tied up with Flipkart, right? I'm sure that also helped increase your visibility. It's perhaps also helping 1mg ride on Flipkart's back and deliver drugs, prescription medicines, all of that in zip codes you weren't delivering to. How has that panned out?
I actually don't know how to react to that news because for over a year, we have been partners with Flipkart on their Super Coins program, and we continue to partner with them in multiple ways. And we have a lot of partners in the ecosystem. So I think as a platform, we work with partners, we develop our business through partners, and whether it is pharmacies, whether it is digital platforms, whether it is hospitals, insurance. So there's nothing very new that has happened, to be honest, but I think certainly any partnership that can help the business is, we are happy to have that.
So tell me, what is the future of the e-pharmacy business? You know, you got the kind of surge in traffic thanks to the lockdown. So first of all, has that traffic sustained as India unlocks, as people start going back to the markets, or there is also this entire wave of empathy that has come in, that those that had shut down were losing out on business. Let's go to them instead of ordering online. That is also happening, right? So have you been able to sustain the traffic, and is it always just going to be about this? What is the next wave of innovation we're likely to see?
Yeah, so no, I think definitely the traffic has sustained and continued to increase. And as I said, when you start with as an industry, as a base of 2 to 3%, there's only one way it can go, which is up. In general, there are areas where the demand is lower. There are areas where demand is higher. So see, if you look at the pharma business, there is certainly acute and symptomatic care, which is best served through the local neighborhood pharmacy. There's chronic care, which players like us, the e-pharmacies, certainly cater to. And then there are the specialty meds, which mostly hospitals deliver themselves. So the category we cater to is fairly stable and continues to grow, and more people have come into this fold. And it will continue to happen. It's a secular trend.
So the omni-channel network, if I could ask you a bit about that. For example, we recently had Car Dekho on Startup Central, 100% online car model, which is now opening physical stores. They want to open 100 stores by the end of this financial year, at a time when everyone is going digital. So in health tech, or let's talk about 1mg in particular, what is it going to be? Is it going to be partnerships with chemists? Is it going to be 1mg branded stores? What?
So I think it will be partnership for sure. Whether we brand it as 1mg partners or not is a separate question. We haven't really finalized that, but we will be partnering with chemists. We will be partnering with clinics, hospitals, doctors. So it will be working with the ecosystem, working with partners and players of the ecosystem who are willing to partner with us. So certainly that is the direction that we are thinking right now. And I think healthcare specifically, and given because we want to make it a holistic, integrated healthcare, it will have physical touch points. It will have digital touch points. Our job is to make that experience seamless and that entire data flow and context for the patient centralized and very, very easy for the patient so that we can make it predictive down the line. So for us, I think it's a very obvious direction to take, that if we want to provide long-term care, we have to have offline and online touch points. Now, the mechanism of that, historically, we've always worked through partners. And we see hospitals also as partners. We see doctors as partners. We see pharmacies as partners, and diagnostic labs. So physical locations typically have been our partners, and those partnerships will go deeper.
Okay, I'm going to come back to 1mg, and apologies again for bringing up this whole point. You said you've never had a problem for fundraise, all of that. So now with consolidation underway, with all these talks of how, you might see Naspers or Temasek, etc., funding Pharmeasy, are you out hunting for funds? Have those conversations begun?
We are in advanced stages, and we'll let you know when we have news to share.
Can you share how much it is that you want to raise?
North of $100 million that I can share.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
We will raise north of $100 million.
Or you will raise more than $100 million. And with that, what kind of a valuation are you seeking? The reason I'm asking this is that, even if you look during the pandemic, and this has been talked about, it exposed the lack of healthcare infrastructure we had physically as well as digitally, right? Not one Indian unicorn comes from the healthcare space. How far are we from that?
We'll get there in due course, not just yet. So I think it's fact that health tech has lagged behind, but the time for this sector has come. We'll see some of the largest healthcare companies in India now get formed. Whereas if you look at even in the offline space, we hardly have really large companies. There's no company that does $1 billion even in revenue today. So I think the unicorns of healthcare have to come, and health tech players will be certainly leading the way, if you ask me. And it'll be harder for offline only players to actually build that kind of scale as the digital players or digital first players can actually enable. So it is coming. I am fairly confident at some point soon. But yeah, at least for us, there's still way to go.
Now, everybody, we often, I don't like using the phrases, but it is an analogy which is often used, right? The story of two Indias, India and Bharat. all of that. So when we look at the e-pharmacies, are they going primarily for what you're seeing in urban India, the larger metros? Or can they also solve the problem for the really small towns where sometimes you don't get all the medicines, or even for rural India? Are you guys solving that problem?
For us, tier 2, 3, 4 are actually growing very, very fast as we speak. So our coverage has gone up. We are expanding our access in multiple locations. And if you see the consumer in tier 2, tier 3 towns, they actually end up spending more on healthcare rather than less compared to people in metros. And the reason is that for them, there is this entire loss of livelihoods, then travel to the cities to get that treatment. Typically, they go only when they are significantly ill. So the net that they spend on their healthcare is actually much higher. And so it's not a question of whether it is affordable for them or not, or lucrative for us or not. It's about us figuring out the business model that will work in those geographies. It is not the same as metro. So we are very, very actively working on it, and our plans are to penetrate those cities. And with NDHM come in, I think it's a huge positive that now we will be able to partner with a lot of organizations to provide the digital extended arm to them. So we are working with all kinds of partners across the ecosystem to get into tier 3, 4 in a more meaningful way. Our platform is in 6 languages, 10 more languages are coming. We are developing voice-based, voice-enabled search and things like that. So there is a very, very active effort at that. And it's a pot of gold out there. It's a huge opportunity. It's a huge need. And somebody needs to make that bridge. And we are on it for sure.